Hi everyone, my name is Jayshree. I have been in the field of human resources and training for about 14 years now. Started off as a recruiter, moved on to become a talent management professional. Uh, I am going to talk a little bit about the concept of emotional intelligence before I take on the questions which I see being posted one after the other. Uh, Emotional intelligence is one of the key life skills, if I can say, for us. The concept in a layman's term, if I have to explain, it is intelligently managing emotions of self and others, keeping in mind that we have relationships that we need to continue building and maintaining and sustaining. And at the same task, there are tons of work that we need to get done. EI, as it is very popularly known as, was termed by a scientist, a science journalist, actually, Daniel Goleman, a psychologist also, and got popularized in the 90s through his books, through his work, and there are tons of research available. Given the fact that I'm talking with a bunch of women here, I must add on to a piece of research which says that women, in some aspects of emotional intelligence, are rated higher as compared to men. Uh, if you look at emotional intelligence, it is pretty much about managing your emotions. It is about regulating your emotions, being more self aware, being aware about the ecosystem because we cannot operate alone, and also managing your impulses, managing your responses, and in that process, being able to build relationships either at home, in communities, with our office space, anywhere. So that's pretty much the importance of emotional intelligence. Now, let me take the first question that I can see here. The concept of EI is very new in our country. Are there any online sessions on this topic that I can take up? Okay, so emotional intelligence is, of course, popularized in the last 30 years. Even in India, I won't say it's a new topic. Yes, in the last decade or so, it is becoming a hot topic, especially when it comes to training people across industries, across sectors. There are a lot of online sessions which you can take. You have sessions on Udemy, Coursera. You also have sessions on masterclasses by Daniel Goleman through the LinkedIn profile. You can do that. And emotional intelligence, in fact, even before going through sessions, I would say just pick on any book, either written by Goldman or written by Travis. And in fact, even if you Indian authors have written and researched a lot about EI, so just go online, pick up some books, even before going to online sessions, I would suggest. Let's look at if we have more questions here. Hi Jayshree, women by nature are emotional and take most of the decisions based on emotion rather than situation. In corporate world, while handling the team, is it boon or bane for the leadership to take decisions emotionally? So Vasudha, 2 points that I would like to make here. One, human beings by nature are emotional. It is not right to say women are emotional. Yes, if you're saying we have experienced where women are vulnerable, women are somehow being tagged or labeled as who cry easily. In that case, you can use the word emotional. However, by term, we all are emotional. And what is important in the corporate world is while handling team, while dealing with partners or vendors or stakeholders, is to take decisions keeping in mind people's emotion. Your emotion, your team's emotion. Do not take decisions which are rash or random. And that is where the whole self management comes to play. Regulate your impulses. Take a step back before you make any decision. Hence, it is important to balance your emotions as well as the logic and the data and the facts which are there right in front of you. So, that I would say it has to be a balance and not tag women as being emotional alone. There's another question which by Richa saying, how is EI important in a professional environment? Again, as I said, EI is very, very important. We actually cannot stay without emotions. How much people say that, you know, he or she lacks emotion, it is very difficult because somewhere or the other things are moving internally in your body. What are emotions? Emotions are biochemical reactions. You can feel it in your body, you can feel it in your mind, and it is very difficult to kind of put a hold to that. And hence, in a professional environment where you are thrown with so many challenges, there are challenges wherein you need to be technically competent, you need to be functionally competent, you need to deal with people, you need to deal with timelines, you need to deal with exigency, something which is not expected. Just look at what is happening in the world today. How many countries today are struggling with the coronavirus attack? Now, in this time, there's so much of chaos happening. People are asking for work from home. People are panicking. Organizations are trying their level best to meet up with all those expectations. In this moment, if we are emotionally intelligent, if you are able to put a check and balance to how we are feeling, how we are reacting, are we considering the needs and concerns of the other people? Are we making sure that our own needs and concerns are taken care of? Are we in that process not rubbing people off at the same time, making sure business continuity is happening? That's how emotional intelligence becomes so important. Okay, so there is a question which is by Netra. Um, How do you deal with male colleagues who have no understanding of what emotional intelligence is? Again, what I would like to emphasize here is, let's not label saying male colleagues are not aware of emotional intelligence. Every colleague of ours, irrespective of gender, they have got emotions. Yes, they may not be able to manage those emotions well. Let's not tag them. If they're not aware of what you are experiencing, what the team is experiencing, what is important is to actually verbalize the emotion rather displaying that emotions. To give you an example, if I'm angry at somebody, if the product that I have received or the report that I have received from a team member or a peer or a supervisor, and I'm not happy with that, I have two ways to respond. One is to actually shout at top of my voice that, you know what you have produced is absolute crap, which you might have been experiencing with either men or women colleagues. At this point of time, it is important to rise above this expression of emotions and verbalize the emotion in a calm and composed manner that whatever I see in front of me, it does not look good. It does not make me happy. I'm upset. I'm disappointed in what has been produced. Verbalizing anger gets expressions out of your system, which is very important, rather expressing it visually or vocally. So even if it's male colleagues who may have little or no understanding of how to manage their emotions, it is time for us, women who are again increasing in numbers at the workplace, to actually spend some time with them and updating them. Tell them calmly and in a composed manner that the way you are reacting, the way you are saying is not helping us. We are here to do a job, we are here to achieve a certain task, and hence I would like you to take a step back and think in a rational way, think in a way which is feasible for both of us. Is it an easy task? No. But is it doable? Absolutely. With a few efforts, with a few times that we try and repeat this exercise of verbalizing emotions, this will take us this will actually take us solve a lot of our workplace problems. I hope I could respond to this question a little bit, and we can move on to another question. Okay, what are some good personal assessment tests for emotional intelligence? Interesting. Now, I know there are a few organizations which run EI test. If there is something called as 6 second or something, I'm not able to recall it, but yes, there are organizations which run EI tests. And allow me some time, I will text it or comment it or put it on the JobsForHer window so that you can take those assessments. Okay, Namita has asked, as a woman, you're already almost always high on EI, sometimes a bit much. How does one know what's a good measure of the right balance of it? Thank you, Namita, for asking that question. Yes, as a woman, um, we are we are good with our emotional intelligence, given our circumstances, given the kind of upbringing and conditioning we have. That we need not only take care of our own needs, but also the needs of the surrounding. So yes, we are high on emotional intelligence. Uh, Sometimes a bit much. I'm reading in one way, which is sometimes we are too resilient. Sometimes we do not verbalize our emotions. Sometimes we do not express as much as we need to do. So, one, in terms of being very high on resilience, I would say start expressing. Start expressing in small and large amounts with your peers, with your colleagues, with your supervisors, with your family members, with people, whoever you are acquainted with. That's number one. Second, or start actually reading how your body is reacting. So when you feel that the resilience is actually acting as a burden for you, you're not able to take it, and you can feel in some parts of your body, sometimes you get a lump in your throat. Sometimes your hand starts burning. You get start getting cramps in your body, or you start feeling you get burning sensations in your on your ear or in your body. In that case, it gives you a sense that, you know what, I think something is not right and my emotions are acting up in my body. So that's number one. There is also a possibility that we get too high on emotions, like, we are super excited, or because emotions are typically, we can broadly categorize as some happiness, sadness, anger, or fear, right? So if you're too elated, too excited, again, do a pulse check. Is it matching with the ecosystem? It's absolutely fine. It's absolutely fine if you got too excited and you look around and you see that, oh my god, I'm the only one who is so excited. Absolutely fine. You expressed it. Calm down. Calm down. There's also a possibility that at times we find, and at least I have found as a HR professional, wherein if you say something to a women colleague, a female colleague, then they start taking it very personally. They start taking it, you know what, I'm not good for this job, and sometimes they start crying. An occasion of where you again need to realize what impressions are you leaving on others. If you feel a moment of weakness, if you feel a moment of vulnerability, it's absolutely fine. Just take a moment, calm down. It's very important at that moment where you are excited with emotions of feeling vulnerable, take a few deep breaths. Very, very important. So, to respond to your answer, a measure of the right balance is read how your body is reacting. Do you feel like clenching your fist? Do you feel like thumping the table? Do you feel like withdrawing and sitting in a room? Do you feel like just shutting yourself? Do you feel like shouting at top of your voice? What is happening in your body? Very, very important to realize how much or little of intelligence intelligently I'm using my emotions. So that would be my response to this question. And let's see if we have a few more. Okay, Amrita Sen has asked, I've been on a career break for over 6 years, sorry, over 8 years now, and planning to return for the past 3 years, but there's always something that holds me back. Either family commitment, low self-esteem, no confidence, and matters like that. How do I see through my goal? Can you suggest? So, Amrita, first and foremost, I want to congratulate you for your courage to come back to workplace. And I'm really delighted that you have taken that step, because it's important, very important for women to come back to work after a break. Taking a break is great, it helps you take care of your commitments. Coming back, yes, you may face certain hindrances. Though organizations today are trying their level best to welcome women back in the workspace, yes, it might take some time. One, I would suggest is identify what is it that you want to do, spend some time, read up, in terms of what available opportunities are. Third would be wherein you might need to upskill yourself. You might need to take on a new course. And amidst all of this, Amrita, very important is to just keep your morale high by reminding and affirming to yourself that if I wish that I need to come back to job, I will. It's just a matter of time. Sometimes it also helps that you pick up a few maybe internship opportunities or maybe take on some kind of part-time roles or work from home projects, whatever. And today I don't know what is your field. See what option is best. Do not get rigid that, you know what, I left my job at X and I want to go back at the same. If you can, fantastic. But if not, give yourself some time, give others an opportunity who might hire you to see that, yes, I'm fully functional with respect to meeting my deliverables and requirements. So that is what I would like to suggest here. Shrishti asked, does the EI of men also equate to women's? Because that would help knowing how much to expect of those in our surroundings at work and at home. Okay, so I feel it is important for me to reiterate one thing here. Human beings, even for that, or any life creature on this earth has got emotions. Some of us have more, some of us have less. In fact, you will come across women who might be very high on emotional intelligence, who would hold themselves high. They would not express variety of emotions in different situations. And at the same time, there would be some who would just be out there. Similar is the case with men. Yes, there are a few pieces of research which say that certain aspects of emotional intelligence, like empathy, like self-awareness, like ability to actually understand others' concern, some parts of social awareness, these are higher on the women's side as compared to men. Having said that, what is important is to manage your own emotions, to be able to regulate your own impulses, rather actually expecting anybody else, be it a male or a female colleague. So if you're able to observe what's happening internally, if you're able to manage your own responses and also read the room, read the ecosystem, you're talking to any other colleague, male or female, and you find that the other person has got some facial expressions which throws some light on how they might be experiencing or emoting, ask a question. Ask them that, are you comfortable? And what am I saying? Is it making sense? Rather assuming that they have high or low emotional intelligence. So it is very important that even as women, we do not put a bias on our male colleagues or other female colleagues. I've just started my career, and what are some of the basics I should know about EI in terms of the professional environment? So congratulations, Divilata, for starting a career. It is very important that women today are financially independent, because somehow it also makes us empowered to take decisions that is important for the upliftment of society. Now, in terms of what basics you need to know, I would suggest first and foremost is to become more self-aware. This is one area where, irrespective of gender, we are not doing a good job. It is important to understand how I feel, what do I react, when do I react, what triggers me, what pushes my heart buttons, what are my beliefs. Do a quick reflection on all of this and continue keeping a check. Especially when you're landing in a job, remember you will be dealing with multiple stakeholders, people who are new to you, people to whom you are new. So there would be some time to adjust. At that point of time, being aware of your own self is important. Along with that, it is also important to start reading the room. When I say read the room, it is look at people around and see how they're reacting. What are their needs? What are their concerns? Sometimes it is just important to be with somebody in a new environment and say, hey, I'm taking a little time. I would need some more help. Would you be able to help me with this? Or can I help you with this? Just, and this is the whole process of empathizing, feeling what the other person is feeling. You may not help the outcome, but at least you can help the person go through that process smoothly. So being a little socially aware, giving in, and at the same time making sure that your own esteem is not compromised becomes important. In all that process, do some basic exercises of breathing. Breathing really helps. Managing your own self, making sure that your impulses are not out in the open. So that might help a lot. And in all of that, if you feel that somewhere things are not going really well, and as per what the situation is demanding, ask for help. But at the same time, when you're asking for help, be aware that you also need to offer help. That is a whole bucket of managing relationships, making sure there is collaboration in the process. So that I would suggest in terms of EI, if you're starting fresh in the professional environment. How is emotional intelligence going to help me grow in my career? Okay, so as we grow in career, we start dealing and working a lot with people. So as an individual, when we start a career, we are an individual contributor. Our level of dependence on others is slightly lower because I'm doing my job and I'm submitting it. But as we grow, we start dealing with multiple stakeholders, we start managing a team, we may start managing multiple teams, and at some point of time managing a business unit or maybe multiple business units, till the time I kind of start leading a whole full-fledged business or a corporate or a conglomerate, sorry. Now, as we grow, our technical and functional skills would be important. However, our ability to deal with people becomes even more important. And when I say that, people will not only work with us, acknowledge us, appreciate us for our knowledge, for us, for our ability to give them solutions. People would appreciate how well are we dealing with them. A very common saying that people do not remember you of what you have told them or what you have done for them. They remember you because they remember how you have made them feel. That's where the whole importance of emotional intelligence come to play. Spend some time understanding about yourself and about others. The more you spend time knowing yourself and knowing others, your ability to diffuse situations, diffuse conflicts, your ability to work with any personality increases, which is very important as you're growing up in your career. So at some point of time, you'll also realize that you do not know the topic, but you're still able to get a mammoth task at hand done purely because you know how to manage and regulate emotions of self and of others. I hope that gave you a little understanding of how EI might help as you're growing in your career. That was it. Thank you so much. Really had a good time interacting with all of you. And I hope we are all able to get better at EI. Thank you.